out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel, something that most people have never seen anything like it. This murderous regime also recently killed 45,000 of their own people who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and neither should any of our past presidents. This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my 2 terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first, and perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani in my first term. He was an evil genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being, however, the father of the roadside bomb. And he lived just horrible, what he did. Iran would have been perhaps in far better, stronger position. Had he lived, we would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning big. And then, very importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash, green cash. Took it out of banks from Virginia, D.C., and Maryland, all the cash they had. He flew it by airplanes in an attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran. They would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. It would have been a different world. There would have been no Middle East and no Israel right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts, had I not terminated that terrible deal. And I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so bad right from the beginning. Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do. They made mistakes, and I am correcting them. My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement. For this reason, in June, I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Those beautiful B-2 bombers performed magnificently. We totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe, and virtually any other place on Earth. And virtually any other place strategy was so obvious. Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, as many missiles as possible, with the longest range possible, with the longest range possible. Weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that nobody believed they had. We just learned that. So we took them out. That no one would really dare stop them. That no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb. And their race for a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. Nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. The doorstep. They were right. For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. Those are just words if you're not willing to take action. If you're not willing to take action when, as I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, very simple and clear. Our objectives are very simple and clear. Systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten the regime's ability to project power outside of their borders. Project power outside of their borders. Iran's navy. That means eliminating Iran's navy, absolutely, which is destroyed, absolutely hurting their air force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. Their air force is gone. Navy is gone. Their missile force is gone. Just about used up or beaten. Just about taken together. These actions will cripple Iran. Taken together, these actions will crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build the ability to build a. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never like it militarily. Everyone like is talking militarily. Everyone is talking about it. And tonight, I'm pleased to say that objectives are nearing completion. Objectives are as we celebrate this progress. As we celebrate this progress, especially of the 13 American warriors, especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives to prevent our children from ever having to face children from ever having to face a nuclear. Twice this past month, I have traveled to Dover. This past month, I have traveled to Dover Air Force Base. It's been something. I wanted to be with those. It's been something. Heroes as the return to Americans. Heroes as the return with them and their families, their parents. I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives. We salute them, and now we must honor them. We salute them, and now we must honor them by for which they gave their lives at every single one of their lives at every single their loved ones said, "Please, sir, please." Their loved ones said, "Please, sir, please." Every one of them finish the job, and we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. We're going to finish it very fast. We're getting our allies in the Middle East, Israel, our allies in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, and Bahrain. Kuwait and Bahrain, and we will not let them get hurt. We will not fail in any way, shape, or form, or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans the recent rise in gasoline prices. The recent rise in gasoline prices. The short-term increase has been entirely the short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime terror attacks against commercial oil tankers and neighboring commercial oil tankers and nothing to do with the countries that have. Nothing to do with the conflict. More proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. Never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and it would lead to decades of extortion, decades of pain, extortion, instability, worse than we pain and instability worse than we. The United States has never been better prepared. The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. We built the strongest economy in history. We built the strongest economy in history. The strongest in history. Right now, the strongest. We've taken in 1 year dead. We've taken a country dead. Hate to say crippled country dead. Hate to say that. And crippled country after the crippled country last administration and made it the hottest country and made it the hottest by far with no inflation anywhere in the world. By record-setting investments coming into the United States over $18 trillion. Over $18 trillion ever. And the highest stock market all-time record highs in just 1 year. All-time record highs in just 1 year. Positioned us to get rid of a cancer that has long simmered. A cancer that has long simmered. Iran and the they didn't know Iran and what was coming. They didn't know. They never imagined what was coming. Remember, because of our drill baby drill program. Because of our drill baby drill program. America has plenty of gas. We have my leadership. We are number one. Under my leadership, we are oil and gas on the planet without even discussing the millions without even discussing the millions of Venezuela. We're getting because of the Trump administration's policies. We produce more oil and policies. We produce more oil and combined. Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Think of that. Saudi Arabia and that number will soon be substantially higher than that. There's no country like us anywhere in the world. Like us anywhere in the world. We're in great shape for the future. The United States. We're in great shape for the future. The United States. No oil through the almost no oil through the and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. Taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it. Beaten and completely decimated Iran, both militarily and economically, both and every other way, economically, and every other way. The world that the countries receive oil through the Hormuz Strait do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait. Must take cherish it. That passage, they must cherish it. They can do it easily and cherish it. We will be helpful.
But they should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved, many of which refuse to get involved, we had to do it ourselves. We had to do it ourselves. Number one, buy oil from the United States. Number one, buy oil from the United States of America. And number two, build up some delayed courage. Build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before. Should have done it with us. Go to the Strait and just go to the Strait and just use it for yourselves. Iran has been used it for yourselves. Essentially decimated. Essentially, the hard part is done, so it should be easy. The hard part is done. And in any event, when this conflict is over the Strait, will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally. They're going to want to be able to sell oil because they're going to want to be able to sell oil to try and rebuild. That's all they have to try and rebuild. Resume the flowing, and the gas prices will rapidly come back down. Stock prices will rapidly go back up. They came down a little bit, but they've had some very good days over the last couple of days. Very good days over the last couple of days. Much better than I thought. But we had to take that little journey to Iran to get rid of this horrible threat. To Iran to get rid of this horrible threat. With our historic tax cuts, where people talking about receiving larger refunds, than they ever thought possible. So much more money than they thought. They are getting so much more money than they thought. That's from the great economy is strong and improving by the day. Our economy is strong and improving by the day, and it will soon be roaring back top the levels that it was a month ago. Top the levels that it made clear from the beginning of Operation Clear from the beginning of Operation until our objectives thanks to the progress we've made, I can say tonight we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Not our goal. We never said regime change. Not our goal. We never said regime change. Has occurred because of all of their original. They're all dead. Death. The new group is less radical, and the new group is less radical, and yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each. Electric generating plants very hard. Electric generating plants very hard, and probably we have not hit their oil. Even though that's the easiest target of all, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of survival. But we could hit it, and it would be gone. We could hit it, and there's not a thing they could do about it. And there's not a thing they have no anti-aircraft equipment. They have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is 100% We are unstoppable as a military force. The nuclear sites that we obliterated. The nuclear sites that we obliterated so hard. Bombers that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust, and we have nuclear under intense satellite surveillance and control. If we see them make a move, even a move, if we see them make a move, even a move for it, missiles, very hard again. With missiles, we have all the cards they have none. It's very important. All the cards they have none. It's very important in perspective. We keep this conflict. American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year. 7 months and 5 days. 7 months and 5 days. Lasted for World 3 years, 8 months and 25 days. 3 years, 8 months. The Korean War lasted for 3 years. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month. The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years. 19 years. 5 months and Iraq went on for 8 years. 8 months went on for 8 years, 8 months and 28 days. We are in this military operation. We are in this military operation against one of the most powerful countries. Against one of the most powerful countries. 32 days. And the country has been eviscerated. And the country has been essentially eviscerated. Is really no longer a threat. Is really no longer a threat. But they're the bully. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. In your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and the whole world is watching. Power strength. They can't leave brilliance. They just can't believe brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. Leave it to your imagination, but they can't leave it to your imagination. But they can't believe what they're seeing. The brilliance of the United States. Tonight, every American can look forward to. Tonight, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of
because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp of threat to America,
ending Iran's sinister
and the
threat
world
to America.
And I'll tell you, the world is watching, and I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when
it's all over,
the
United States will be safer,
the United States will be
safer,
greater,
stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces and the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless
of America.
the United
Thank you very much
States
and good
of
night.
America. Thank you very much and good night.